it's my married name, but yeah,
They're wonderful people.
that's what I've heard. You would know how to pronounce it.
Well, that's how she pronounces
Yeah.
it, doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, that's how they pronounce it.
Oh yeah, I brought my box.
Emily, do you Kleenexes here?
It's my voice.
Everything blooming.
I know, everything's going on. I'm in misery. Great.
What are you reading this so hard for? Did you walk from home? No.
Where are you sitting? Right here also. Where are you sitting? You're good.
Beautiful people, I'm good. That's the bridge.
I won't pay for it, but you know what I like about the awesome.
No, I mean, this one just doesn't.
Yeah, so we can send it to the board. So we drop it off there.
I'm still going up, I think.
I have something to eat.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but she's all right. She's that.
They tried to make
There's one right here.
Shot. Wouldn't it be nice? Oh, well.
That has a lot of us in our neighborhood.
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah, and feel like the right thing. How about you?
Oh, it'll be interesting to hear the more. I believe. No, we can
Yeah.
I do. Okay. Oh, this is number. So just if you ever need to refer back to something, I have it.
No, I. I'm hoping. Fresh lands. I wish you.
Snow and the coast and lower.
Just call us morning north.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody's present?
Approval of the agenda.
Also move to approve the agenda as presented in the April 13th, 2026 board meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries. Approval of consent agenda.
Also move to approve the 2026, 2027 truth and taxation public hearing minutes dated March 9th, 2026. Regular township board meeting minutes dated March 9th, 2026. And the special meeting minutes for the 2025-2026 fiscal year end final budget amendments dated March 30th, 2026. Accept the treasurer's report as presented, to accept the assessor's report for April 26th, and to approve the March 2026 bills and the transfer of funds. And the bill listing for general fund checks 31200 through 31229, the building check 2657, electronic fund transfers, payrolls for township police and fire departments for March 2026 is $133,222.92.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any names? Motion carried.
Yeah.
County Commissioner, Greg Wise.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor, board members. We had a board meeting on April the 2nd, we had a whole meeting. We met on April the 2nd, which was the first Thursday of the month of November, the second Thursday. But we had some commissioners who were out of town, and we weren't sure we were going to have a quorum on the night, so we had a meeting on the 2nd. Among the things we did there, we voted to put the senior village on the August primary ballot. We approved a health department grant from the state for $13,492 to buy 3 new AEDs to replace old ones that we can't get parts for anymore, vinyl wraps for 3 trailers, and a portable generator for one of the trailers. We approved renewal of alcohol monitoring services, a live scan that's fingerprinting for community corrections. And finally, we passed a resolution honoring Crime Victims Awareness Week. On a personal note, I'd like to thank the Metamora Fire Department and Police Department for the response to our house on Saturday, March 21st, when our carbon monoxide detector went off. We're very thankful that we have such dedicated servants in this township. They helped diagnose the problem, turned the oil furnace off, cleared the air so we were able to go back in, and my wife and I certainly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Public time.
I'm going to read the public time policy so that if any of you would like to speak, that you'll know the process. So at regular and special meetings of the Township Board, individuals wishing to be heard may address the supervisor and board during public comment, public hearing periods, as set forth in the agenda under the following rules. Number 1, each speaker shall state their name. Number 2, each speaker must speak from the podium, please, if you're able. Number 3, speakers shall address the board through the supervisor and or the chairperson. Number 4, each speaker is limited to 3 minutes, so there will be a clock up here for a public time per the agenda, unless the supervisor determines at a request and explanation of the speaker that he or she has been designated to speak on behalf of 5 or more persons who are present at the meeting. In such cases, the supervisor or chairperson shall determine the amount of time adequate to cover the subject matter, taking into consideration the respect for others' matters on the agenda and for the time of others present, and specify the amount of additional time to be permitted to the speaker. Speakers are encouraged to be concise and refrain from repeating comments already addressed by the board members previously. Number 5, no speaking time allotment may be shared or given to another person. Number 6, any information the speaker wants to distribute to the board and or the commission must ask the supervisor prior to dispersing information. Number 7, board members do not comment during public time. We certainly listen and we hear your concerns, but board members do not usually comment during public time unless authorized by the supervisor. Number 8, a person who talks out of turn when not recognized during public comment or during the public meeting will be deemed out of order. If such person continues to talk after being requested to cease, he or she shall be deemed to be causing a breach of the peace and may be removed from the meeting. Number 9, if any member of the public desires to meet with any board member following the meeting, please do not hesitate to make your wishes known. If an immediate meeting is not feasible, an attempt shall be made to schedule a meeting without delay. Furthermore, all speakers are encouraged to reach out to the board members during office hours if issues are urgent or need to be resolved prior to each scheduled monthly meeting. All right.
My name is Renee Smith, and I am bringing my concerns about the development coming up to Broward Road. My husband, Jacob Smith. For me, a lot of it is right now with the clearing out of all of this property. It's not just about stopping someone from simply cutting a few trees on private property. This is about a large-scale land clearing that is directly tied to a proposed development that has not been approved. Right now, the township is taking the position that because there is no tree cutting ordinance, nothing can be done, but respectfully, that is not accurate. Even without a tree ordinance, the township still has authority and responsibility under zoning and development laws. The land clearing tied to development is not just tree cutting. It is the first step of development activity, and it should not be allowed to proceed before site plan approval, zoning compliance, and environmental review. Allowing this to continue is creating a situation where the land is permanently altered, the community is losing its voice, and many future decisions become meaningless because the damage is already done. What authority is the township relying on to allow pre-developed clearings to happen before any approvals have been granted? Because the township does have the ability to act. You can issue a stop work directive tied to the zoning and site plan requirements. You can require proof that all county and state permits are in place. You can halt activity that constitutes premature development. Choosing not to act is still a decision, and it has its consequences. I want to address the zoning issue at hand as well. The land has been described as if it still carries residential developmental rights under an old framework. However, the reality is the land has been split, sold, and altered over time. Portions have been returned to the unplatted land, and the current township mapping reflects A2 zoning. Under Michigan law, zoning is a legislative authority that cannot be locked in indefinitely by past agreements, especially when conditions have changed. Continuing to treat this land as if it still qualifies under outdated assumptions while ignoring current zoning and density realities is not consistent with how zoning authority is supposed to function. Lastly, I want to speak as a resident. We have come forward respectfully. We have asked questions. We have raised serious concerns about the environmental impact, the water and well safety, density and infrastructure, and the lack of transparency. Instead of answers, we keep being told there is nothing we can do. But there is something you can do, and choosing not to act sends a message that residents' voice do not matter. So tonight I'm asking for 3 things. Can I finish? 3 things? An immediate halt to land clearing until proper approvals are verified. Written confirmation of what permits and approvals currently exist, and a public explanation of how this activity is being allowed under current zoning and developmental rules. This is about accountability, this is about process, and this is about protecting the community before it's too late. Thank you.
Oh, no, don't go. Go ahead. I'll try not to be redundant, but I'm just gonna try to summarize a couple things. There's so much here in what Renee described, but there's 2 questions.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm sorry, Roger McCormick.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's 2 questions I was hoping to get answers. It won't be tonight, so I'll send you an email on it as well, and I can also leave you a copy of what the things that are in my mind. So Renee mentioned it's officially zoned in A2, and I think we can all agree that the proposed development, as it was described to us, does not meet the zoning requirements of an A2. However, I understand the township is relying on a consent agreement originally signed in 1991, Renee referred to it, and recorded in 1997 to permit the project to move forward. I know that official proposal hasn't happened, but that's our understanding in the conversation. So my question is simply this. Has the Metamora Township Legal Counsel confirmed that the agreement is enforceable in 2026, more than 30 years later, and through numerous property splits and parcel changes, as well as Metamora Township leadership changes? So, an answer to that question. If the response we get is that we're falling back on this consent agreement, is it still legally enforceable? Second question, the background. There's a lot of concern about traffic and the fact that equestrian traffic, yes, equestrian traffic, will be more hazardous and less safe, no doubt, with an 88 unit development going in there with an entry egress off of Broward, which is what we saw in the original preliminary proposal that Joe showed to us. So the other thing to consider is, my wife is an instructor at Vanderbilt Cross, a therapeutic riding place, and I talked to the program director there. They're very concerned about the increase in traffic, how it will negatively affect their program. They utilize riding paths adjacent to the road, so additional traffic will definitely be a safety or a hazard consideration as well. And then finally, we talked to the developer at one point. It was an informal conversation. He said, and I'm quoting, that the entry egress off of Brower Road is required by the fire department. I don't think that's the case, but my question involving all the road conditions is this. If it is indeed an entry egress required off of Brower Road, is that true? Is there a government authority that is requiring that? I would like that answer. Somebody to do some research on that, please. If so, how will the township county address the more hazardous vehicle pedestrian traffic conditions if it indeed is, quote, required? Last point, 1 second. If this access point is not required off of Bridle Road, if it is not, will anybody follow up with that developer and effort towards eliminating the Brower Road entry egress into the development? That's it. I will, if it is okay with you, I'll leave you a copy of this. I have it in kind of a letter form.
Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Marcy Steisner. I reside inside of the Metamora Golf Course community, Country Club Estates. I didn't know that we were allowed to ask questions, so I too will be sending this out tomorrow. But just curious if the township is aware of all the long-lived and ongoing water drainage and flooding problems within our subdivision. If yes, what support to the flooding problem has been done or what can be done to prevent problems going forward? If no, there are many homeowners who have had reoccurring flooded basements, flooded backyards, side yards, front yards, culvert areas, and the traffic is also compromised due to the flooding because at certain times it comes up to the height of the mailboxes. So, this township apparently does not have an ordinance for drainage, I've been told. I don't know if that's correct or accurate. I just made some phone calls today. With the rapid flow of heavy water and flooding, has the township investigated the risk of people or children being swept into open pipes, storm drains, and drinking wells being contaminated? Just a thought. It's pretty dangerous over there, like I say, when the water's at the height of the mountains. How can, from my standpoint, being a homeowner with a 2.5-year-old house worth close to $1 million, I'm not willing to stand and be quiet to have our property diminished because of all of the problems within that subdivision. And I personally cannot understand how any township, and we built 2 other homes in 2 different townships, can approve one single house right now being built as a new construction within that subdivision. The township has to come out and inspect, give permits. I don't understand how. When we were building our house, everything was very lackadaisical. It's kind of like, oh, it's good, everything's good. It's not good. People are losing a lot of money, spending a lot of money, and I'm concerned that nobody really cares because it's not affecting everybody. It's affecting the homeowners within that subdivision. Now they're looking at building 88 units that would be tied into the drain system over there. The golf course will have more problems than they already have right now with drainage. So I just started this process. We fortunately don't have a problem at our house. I am so embarrassed to have friends come over to see the state of our roads, which I know are deeded back to us, but the drainage needs to be looked into. And I cannot understand new construction going on. Right now, any developer, Benson, any builder, Papadopoulos, they should not be permitted to build one single thing in that neighborhood right now. It's a disgrace. So tomorrow, I made calls today. Tomorrow I'm reaching out to state representatives. I'm not going to be quiet. Thank you.
That's very handy stuff. Hi, my name is Paul Snap. I live at 5952 Thomas Road, just 5 houses from Davison Lake, Oakland County. And I've talked to Clark before this about, I pay Oxford school taxes, and it really irritates me to live in Lapeer County in Metamora Township, give my money to an Oakland County school that has more than enough kids going in there, and they're spending money and they're asking more bills. And I look in the Lapeer County press, and our Lapeer schools are losing $3 to $4 million. So if anybody's got an idea how I can switch it over and give my school taxes to Lapeer instead of Oxford, I'm all ears. And I just disagree with that. And I was really disappointed when I bought our house a year and a half ago, and I had an Oxford address, and I go, why? Because of the schools. So I think I would rather have my money going to Lapeer schools, and I don't care how close I am to Oxford High School. So if anybody, I talked to you before about that. I called Mr. Green's office, and they said they didn't know when that went into effect. I called the Lapeer School Board. The gal didn't have any idea about that. So I guess I'm going to start going to the Lapeer meetings and find out what's going on and how we do that. But I hate to see them losing $3 to $4 million. They're talking about closing schools because they don't have enough students, and Oxford's gaining students. That's all I got. So if anybody knows any way we can do that or how we go about that, I'd appreciate hearing about it, okay? Thank you. Yes, you're not.
Carol Jacob, I live in the village, which is in the township, for people who don't know that. So I was going to ask about the lawn care contract and when you're going to send that out for bids. But I see on the window that you are finally doing that, and I'm glad that's being corrected because I brought to your attention last summer that Sue Clark's father-in-law, longtime friend of Dave Best and his daughter and their families, John Clark, was mowing the lawns here on his own equipment, but as an employee, direct employee, not contract, and having an assistant who wasn't paid and with an inflated rate, probably to cover the use of his equipment. None of that was proper. I'm glad that's being fixed, but I think we need to look back in time now and think about pension contributions and the employment tax and all of that, and payroll tax, all of that stuff, and look at getting that corrected, because that was just really improper employment. Now, I brought this up before, or at the special meeting, but you have no contract for snow removal. I FOIA'd that because I had never heard of that going out to bid either. But you know, you had to make a line item for like $5,200 for snow removal. But do we have a company for that? Well, there was a company I've seen doing it, but there's no contract. Are they insured properly? Is everything right with that? Because you guys apparently have some issues going on. Was that ever bidded? Apparently not, based on my FOIA. It's April, so it is a little late to be sending that stuff out for bids, so hopefully you get that on the agenda for next week. I have a big question about the deputy supervisor item that appeared on the agenda. Why do we need a deputy supervisor? How will that person be paid? Is this gonna be a relative? Is this gonna go out and be advertised? Are we gonna base it on qualifications, or is this just gonna be another, job that goes to another relative or friend here? That was another, I sent this out to friends and said, hey, what do you think this is about? They said, ask if it's gonna be a relative, because you guys are a little bit famous for that. Now, the big thing that I discovered, because I noticed your legal bills are very, very high here. Very high, much higher than anywhere else I've seen in the county, over 66,000. So, I FOIA'd the legal bills, because no one would answer me about it anyway, and discovered that over 55,000 of that is to a lobby firm. It looks like about gravel stuff, but you're paying $4,400 a month. And you've been doing that since 2000, that's when that contract was set. But I've heard absolutely nothing, I've come to years of meetings, heard absolutely nothing about that. I would like to know, now first of all, why is that being put as a legal item when I looked it up, it should be in maybe professional and contractual, not legal. But what are we gaining from all of that money going to them? Why? Is it worth, over $50,000 a year ostensibly to be hiring a lobby firm? Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, my name is Michelle Rasnick. I'm at 5375 Pebble Beach Drive. I just built just over a year and a half ago. And I had no intention, I just got off the plane, I had no intention of coming here. So unprepared, I'm sorry. I did have probably one of, I want to show you this image. This is the hill that goes behind my house. And I'll get to it. As it rains off to the adjacent opening, just south of the opening of the Country Club Estates, there's a farm field there. And it comes down like a river, and it fills my yard up. Apparently, the people that live at that top of the hill on Broader Road did say that my house used to be a pond. And it was a pond again, and I had just started finishing my walkout basement. And this was the second rain after they got it drained. But now it's coming off the farm field, and it just fills, comes all the way up to my house, and I'm just standing there looking at the lake encroaching on my home. And they did put new drainage in there last year, but the pipe is not big enough. I keep getting passed around. I don't really know what to do about it, but I really hope that you guys have some sort of say. And because I did get asked when I first moved there from somebody from the township to send videos, I don't recognize the name here. The other thing is, hearing about the new development did concern me quite a bit. I'm a teacher at Chatfield, and every morning I shoot the gap as it is, trying to get out onto 24, and I would increase that traffic. I think a traffic study needs to be done, a watershed study needs to be done before anything else gets developed. I did have Richard Ward, the farmer that does farm all that land, and he came out and we walked and saw the drainage. He's like, this is not, he knew all the ways that, says it's 5th generation being out there. He knew all the ways that the water was routed because he farms all the land around there. And then it goes under Rocker Road, and there's no way for it to get there from what we have going on. So thinking about Broward Road, that's going to be really difficult to have that development because right now, I'm just one of the many people that are having major flooding in our sub. And I didn't want to build a house at the lake. Thanks. And I can, you guys can listen, but if you want.
Hi, my name is Kathy Gardner. I have no intention on speaking here tonight. I just wanted to come and listen and see what this is all about. I've never been to one of these before, so pardon me. We also moved to the Metamora Country Club. This is our 3rd year. We were more than happy to be out here. We love being in this area. However, after building our home, our last home we were in for over 26 years in the city, this is our dream home. It was not cheap to build this home, but it's well worth it. And we don't mind paying for something that's going to last us, which we thought was going to be our forever home. So even though we are part of an HOA, which there's nothing personal at all, everyone gets along and I like everybody, but it's not personal. There are certain requirements that were required of us home builders. And we did everything that was expected of us, right? I mean, even before it was done and due and you know, we gotta 3 trees here and you gotta have this and here. We did everything. We have over $100,000 worth of everything that is on the outside of our home. And like I said, we've done absolutely everything that's been required of us. However, when it rains, when it pours, it comes off of the golf course, which does not have adequate drainage. And some have bigger pipes, some have smaller. I can tell you some of the people that are here have the same builder. There are many other people that are not here tonight who did have the same builder, so I don't know if there's a correlation there or not. But we are flooded. Our whole yards, front, back, sideways. I can't even put any more mulch like in my yard. When it rains, my whole patio's this far under water and it just goes floating by. It goes down for our egress window. Some neighbors just cracked the window, it's come inside. I'm just kind of speaking to, we don't mind paying for nice things and what's required of us to have, but it just seems like the culverts in the front are very, I don't know what the right word is. They're not
Small, undersized.
well, they're undersized. They're too small. I don't know what a good size
Wrong
is.
piping, wrong size, or
Wrong
different
size.
Wrong
size.
size. I mean, even
We're all
my
flooding. We are scared to death for tomorrow, I'm sorry, Dave. And we're scared to death for the rain tomorrow. Here we go again.
we can't leave. Like we're afraid we can't leave. We have sirens. We have a backup pump that has a siren that alerts us to our phones. It's so bad. Like they just. And again, I'm not out for blood. I'm not out for. You know, we just wanted to build our dream home, and after this, we shouldn't have to start throwing, you know, good money after bad, or bad after good, or thank you for your time.
Anybody else? Go to the fire department business.
Good evening. Start out with the activity report for March of 2026. We had 11 fires, 13 vehicles, we had 1 PI, 1 meeting, 3 trainings for March. Runs were down a little bit for the month, which is always a good thing. I would like to get permission to purchase 12 rolls of 1 3/4 fire hose. That is for a cost of $3,630. That will replace a lot of the old attack lines that we have. After we buy that 1 3/4, that will pretty much update all of our hose and make it all pretty new, like within the last 4 to 5 years. Some of the hose we have over there, to be honest with you, has brass couplings on it and was built before I was born, so like early 1970s. But that doesn't get used often. We keep that as like a backup if we, burn a hose or whatnot. So, but the purchase of that 12 rolls would pretty much eliminate all that old stuff and make all of my hose pretty.
I'll make a motion to approve $3,630 for the purchase of 12 rolls of 1 3/4 fire hose.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Evenings? Motion carried.
Thank you. Next, I'd like permission to spend up to $500 for some of our recruiting and retention materials that we need. What we'd like to do is buy some pens and a table cover to set up. Table cover would be to set up on our table when we go to different events for recruiting, to advertise who we are with our name on it and things like that. And then the pens would be to hand out with the fire department's name and everything on it, so if I could, get up to $500 to purchase that material.
Is that off the grant?
This would come out of our budget, but that would go to, help supply Derek, who's funded by the grant,
So I'll make a motion to approve the fire department to purchase marketing materials for community improvement events in the amount of $500.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Did you get any, improvement?
I don't know from this
Okay.
way or not, but, we got a grant last year that pays for a retention and recruitment, person to go out and try to retain and recruit people from the community to join our department. So we pay him up to, like 16 hours a week to go out to different businesses or functions, schools, things like that, to try to recruit people. The volunteer fire service is declining with people that want to do it, people that can do it. Back, 35 years ago when I was on, we had more or less wait to get on. We had 35 people on all the time. And now we're lucky to maintain a roster of 23 to 24 people. So, friends, family, neighbors, if any of you have them that would be interested in doing it, we'll take applications, we'll interview, we pay for your training, we'll pay for you to go through training. So, anybody that might want to help out, be a part of something more, be a part of something different, I'm always looking for help. I don't have enough. The last thing I have is a discussion on the purchase of a new truck. Our equipment over there, for the most part, is a couple of our bigger trucks. They're getting to their age limit, and which is 20 years, and one that's about 24 years. We're starting to have trouble with it, and it's getting hard to buy equipment or buy parts to fix it, and electrical problems and things like that. And unfortunately, to replace one of the trucks over there that I need to replace is over $1 million. The one truck that we had spec'd out to add to our fleet and to start this replacement strategy of buying new equipment and new trucks and things like that. We found a company that could build a truck for us for about $450,000. We had put together a truck committee that has put in a lot of time and a lot of hours coming up with a spec and coming up with a truck that would fit our need and what we need to protect our community and our township. And it's a big truck. It hauls more water than anything we have over there now. And I think it's a piece of equipment that we need to protect our people, their residents, or their houses and things like that. So the truck that we are looking to purchase, the dollar amount is going to flex a little bit because we're still working out a couple things with it, but it's about $462,000 and $462,500. So it's not cheap.
Is it new?
It is brand new. Doug, who happens to chair is my assistant chief. He happens to be the chair of our truck committee, and he's put in a lot of time talking with the company, the owner. They did a virtual walkthrough of the factory and looking at all the equipment and all that stuff. Our plans are, if we do buy this truck, to go down and do a walkthrough, do a final inspection. And the company says, when you get down here, if you don't like or we did something wrong, then you don't buy it. We will build you another truck that meets your expectations. So even though we haven't signed really any paperwork on this truck, they built it the way that we wanted it in hopes that we could buy it. And if whatever reason we don't buy it, we're just going to sell it to somebody else, right? They're a small company. They don't build as many fire trucks as like E1 or the big companies, right? They build, 40, 50, 60 a year maybe. So they can put them out a little bit cheaper. But they still build a good quality fire truck.
Does it come come with a warranty?
It does come with a warranty.
Has several pieces of the warranty, but main structure, body is lifetime, poly tank's lifetime warranty, and then there's certain things like the pump 7-year warranty. There's a couple of things to go to it, but it comes with a very good warranty. The company's been in business for 41 years. They'll actually, if it becomes an issue that they need to come up and actually get the truck, they'll actually bring a piece of apparatus up. They'll flatbed ours back to repair it and leave us a loaner piece of apparatus to use while they're fixing our truck. So.
But the engine's in Cummins,
Engine's
transmission's in
Allison.
The chassis is the frame is an international
chassis.
The drivetrain is Dana, so it's all reputable. This is not office. This is pretty much office technology.
So it's a 2027 international chassis and cab.
Yep.
It's got 1,500 gallon per minute pump, which is really good. We have one other pump over there that's 1,500 gallons per minute. Other than that, it's 1,250. It's 2,500 gallons of water, a 3-man cab. So it's a big truck, holds a lot of water, which in the township, that's what we need is water, right? It's not hydrogen, so we don't have endless supplies of water. We have to haul in and truck our water.
Another thing with this too, it brings up all the safety features. It has vehicle stability computer on it that actually maintains stability. It has tire pressure monitoring. It has a lot of stuff that wasn't available with our other trucks back in 2003 and 2005. So there's a bunch of stuff that's been updated with it, just with today's technology. Backup cameras that are standard, kind of stuff.
We have a ladder truck over there that's about 20 years old right now, and we want to sell that because we don't utilize it, but we're kind of like caught. If we get rid of it and we need it, we don't have it, right? And I know dang well, as soon as we sell it, the next day we're gonna need it. Like I wish I had a dang truck, but where it's parked at right now, this truck is much better suited to protect you guys than that ladder truck is. I mean, if I had help, it has 500 gallons of water. When I get out to a fire in the country club, the ladder truck gets 500 gallons of water. That doesn't hardly get the hoses wet, and then we're out of water. Yeah, right. Hopefully. Well, we have a hydrant out there that we can get water, but we still have to, haul it. We just can't put it out there. So, we're kind of like caught. Do we keep the ladder truck? Do we sell it and put it towards the new truck? Where do we go? So we're kind of like in between. What are we gonna do with that? But either way. I still would like to get permission to go ahead and purchase this fire truck. I had talked to Scott and Dave about the money and how to pay for it and how we're going to do that. And what we'd come up with is like a 50-50 split where I would cover half of the purchase of it and the township would purchase the other half, which is going to be $230,000 or $35,000, somewhere in that ballpark. But it's got, it's a really good backup, second out truck that's got a lot of water that will give us a lot of time to put out, get a good knockdown on a good working fire over there. Now we can run out of water, where this will give us a lot of water. Like I said, they've been working on the truck. They've been building it kind of what we want, and the truck will be ready in 30 to 45 days. So the turnaround is gonna be quick. Where the next truck that we order after this truck, whether it be next year, 2 years, whatever, that could be a 3 to 5 day wait on the truck that we want. Right. So, and then more than double in price as well. So. Any questions on that?
Are you replacing something else over there? Where's it gonna go?
Well, hopefully the sale of the ladder truck will open up a bay for it. If we end up keeping that, then we'll have to look at different options. So.
All right, I'll make a motion, or do you have any other?
You guys split it into the money part of it, right? So from a general fund perspective, we're gonna cover half the cost, and then we'll cover the other half through their current monies they have.
I look at that as a necessity for this community
It is.
to have a new pumper tanker.
You've been saving for a while.
Yeah.
Well, we finally have money saved up, you know, we're about $400,000 to $450,000 that we have saved, and, you know, I've spent about half of that on this truck, and that would still leave me money to put down on the next truck, which is gonna be.
Because you're gonna get us that
Yeah,
list,
yeah.
right?
Pardon me?
Because you're gonna get us that list, right?
Yes.
What's expiring, what's the big plan? I'll make a motion to approve the fire department to purchase a 2,500 gallon demo pumper tanker fire truck from Deep South Fire Trucks in the amount of approximately $462,500.
I'll support.
We'll do a roll call. Sorry. Derderian?
Yes.
Chouinard? Yes.
Benscoter?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Clark?
And that dry hydrant that you guys have at the country club, we'll be out there probably on Wednesday to, we always back flush it and then we pump water out of it for a while, just to make sure that it's all good, working and clear, and we can get water out of it. Whenever we need to. So probably Wednesday we'll be up there with that one, right? If not, it'll be soon.
You're gonna put more water into the water?
Pardon me?
You said you're gonna flush the hydrant?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Where at?
So we just backflow it, right, so it clears out whatever, and then we pump water out of it. But then the water we pump out of it goes right back into it, so we don't like flood the road or anything like that. We're not gonna have you in the road.
Goes back into the.
Maybe a little more.
Wait, have we ever told we couldn't have a pool?
Where do they make these new trucks at?
So that one there is made in Missouri? Mississippi.
Oh, Mississippi?
Yeah.
Oh, not downtown Detroit or nothing?
No.
Okay.
No.
Mississippi, okay.
And the ambulance that we got was from Minnesota. Cause I went there when they were making it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was something to see.
Yeah. There's a lot to it. Yeah, we will not be able to do that. Thank you.
Okay, Donnie, thanks. Police business.
Good evening. For March 2026, the Metamora Township Police Department had 430 calls for service. 121 of those were traffic stops, 4 property damage accidents, 6 car deer accidents, 1 PI, 11 alarms, 4 domestics, 5 warrant arrests, 4 OWIs or operating while intoxicated arrest, 35 property watches or vacation checks, and then we did 63 subdivision checks. For the month, working on training, we're working on our Police One Academy online trainings that we do. There's 8 of them that they're working on. They don't have to have them done this month or anything like that, but these are the ones they're working on. Ambush awareness and preparation, crowd control, emergency preparation and egress, firearms tactics, hostage negotiations, mass casualty, natural disaster standards, off-duty safe and ready, tourniquets and trauma kits, and then also this month, Officer Irish attended ground control instructor, which was 8 hours, and then also a tactical emergency casualty care for law enforcement, which was 8 hours, which was a free course put on by the emergency management in Lapeer. So that's something he's going to go teach everybody. Community events for March. I don't know if everybody knows, but March was reading month. We spent a lot of time in Murphy Elementary, all the way from early 5s to the 4th grade. I have to admit, Officer Sutter was an absolute all-star. It happened to be when he was working a lot was when we were there. And then Officer Plowman and Officer Vicari were there as well. So we spent a lot of time there and hope the kids enjoyed it. Our OHSP traffic grant that we have, there was no activity for March. There was no grant time during that month. Now it's April. We're working on distracted driving and then seatbelt enforcement. So if you see extra cars out there making stops, we are working on the traffic grants. Something else, our website has been updated. I know a lot of you probably know that, but metamoratownship.com, and you go to the police section. If you're going out of town, you can put in property checks right there. It gives information about license to purchase firearms, child safety seat inspections, the contact information for that. We have officers that can help out with that. We also have a speed trailer, which you can make a request if you have problems in your area and you'd like the speed trailer in certain areas, which I know we've already had a request in the country club, and I know it's coming. Also, there's information about the prescription drop-off right in our office during lobby hours. The only request I have is that we're approved through the 100 Club of Lapeer, Genesee, and Shiawassee County for some safety equipment. I would like to purchase 4 power flare light kits. That'll be 1 for each of the patrol vehicles. And then also we were approved for 5 expandable batons, and not to exceed the amount of $3,762.65. And that's a reimbursement grant, so we purchase up front and then we ship the bill over to them and we get reimbursed.
I'll make a motion to approve the police department to purchase 4 power flare light kits and 5 expandable batons in the amount of $3,762.65 from the opticsplanet.com. I was one of those deer strikes.
Yep, I saw that.
Squish my car.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried.
Thank you. And lastly, if you guys see our speed trailer out there on Dryden Road, I know you probably think, why is it sitting right there? You know, they're not going to get speed, coming off 24 right there. It's also doing a traffic count for us, so that's why I have it there right now, but it'll be moving here shortly.
Are you going to be participating in the drone coverage? I was reading somewhere that the police might start using drones. Is that true?
We do have a drone.
But not through the block.
Not through the Oakland County.
That's Oakland County.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
I know, lady's gonna call me and ask if the speed limit is 55, she thought she always was speeding, she thought it was something else, because she's seen that. I'm like, no, it's 55, you're right, you're good.
Okay, township business. Clerk's conference.
Yeah, so I'm asking for approval to attend the 2026 Annual Michigan Association of Michigan Clerks. It's June 17th, or I'd be going the 16th through the 19th, and that costs $400, so I guess my motion is to approve the clerk to attend the 2026 MAMC annual conference at the cost of $400 plus lodging and mileage. It's in Kalamazoo this year.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried. Police millage. Resolution.
You wanna talk to it, or you wanna talk to it? Okay, so this is the final verbiage for the police millage that we're gonna put it on the ballot in August. It is basically part of a renewal of the 2.0756 mils and a proposed increase of 0.5 mils. We've had this discussion already on this. This has been reviewed by Jerry. At this point, we're just trying to make it. I can make them. I'm sorry.
This is less confusing than what we had before.
Right. So, any discussion before we proceed? Any conversation, questions?
No, because it was passed our attorney for proper verbiage.
And this will be on the August ballot.
Yeah, it'll be on the August ballot. So,
You want to say why?
So I'll just kind of give some data. So people will always ask about millage increases and why. So I started here in 2019, and when I first started here, the average police vehicle cost $24,000. Today it costs $50,000. When I started here, the cost for healthcare was around $30,000. Now it's close to $80,000. So things have gone up quite a bit. The salaries have gone up and other things have gone up. And you guys all either retirees or you guys are still working, so you always know what life is like. So a lot of what we're asking for is to cover the increased cost as well. But in addition to that, we plan to hire an additional officer to help with the workload. I know Ryan has mentioned many times in prior meetings that the struggles he's having is finding part-time people to work as he police activity, especially when, holiday times when you have your officer taking time off, it's hard to find coverage. And we do have a full-time officer on duty 24/7 through the holidays, weekends, everything here as well. So we're trying to maintain that coverage as well. So that's clear. We're not drunk and disorderly. We're not trying to take money and just not spend it wisely. Obviously, we're doing that, but I want to make sure it's clear that what's driving it is not because we want to make more money and put it in our bank account. It's because the cost of operations is up as well. So did I cover that well? I'm speaking for you in some respect, but if you have any other comments to add, that'd be great.
Yeah, and the other thing is that our police department, we solely operate on the police village. We don't receive money from the general fund or anything like that. Obviously, building maintenance, that's different. I don't want to say we don't get anything, but as far as a general budget from the general fund, we don't have it. It's strictly off the village. So,
Not from the county either, correct?
No.
Correct.
Well, I think a local police department is much better than, I could say renting the sheriff's department.
Which other
contracting. I think Oakland County is dealing with that right now.
We have townships in Lapeer County that
So,
also pay.
For what we have with our police department and our fire department, I think it's well worth it for our community.
I agree. I see your presence.
Thank you. If there's more questions, please don't hesitate to stop by and ask or call us if there's any questions regarding what we're doing and why we're doing it. So,
We're here Monday through Thursday.
Yep.
8 to 4.
so I'll make a motion unless there's any other questions.
I like the new,
Verbiage.
Yes.
more,
All right, so I'll make a motion to adopt a resolution and ballot language proposed to renew the previous authorized millage and approve a new additional authorization for the police protection for August 4th, 2026 primary election as presented.
Support.
Ann Derderian,
Yes.
Chouinard,
yes.
Benscoter,
Yes.
Best,
Yes.
Clark, yes.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I'll add that the kids at Murphy enjoyed the police coming to read. They saw them there a different day. I'm a teacher there. And they were like, are they coming back? Can we have them again?
We can work on it.
So they did really enjoy it.
All right, I'm gonna appoint a deputy supervisor, Tommy Wise.
May I address the board in the room?
Yeah.
Hello, obviously I know pretty much all you up here know me, but for any of you that don't, my name is Tom Wise. I've lived in Metamora Township my entire life. I live here, work here, they've raised my family here, and I'm looking forward to this opportunity to help serve this township, our community, and all of our residents. So we're just now working into this position. But I will be here to help with whatever I can. Thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
gonna be? Deputy supervisor. Okay. So you eventually be taking over for that? If he retires, but I mean, as a supervisor, all those positions are elected. They're due every 4 years, the next election is in 28. Oh, 28? Yes, so there was one for a couple of years ago. I don't think they could. Forever. 25+ years. Sometimes, I don't understand how they keep getting it. If it's a voting process. Well, it is every 4-year term. I've been here for 12 years. I've lived in Dryden since I was 2. My parents are sitting here. Not everybody. Well, the reality is, yeah, very few. I mean, I'm like, it's incredibly low number of voters. Well, maybe it's because there's nothing out there.
Thanks for coming out tonight, appreciate it.
Nobody knew about this until.
So where'd you guys move up from? Okay, I worked at the tech center for 35 years.
That whole row right there. That whole row right there. And there's a couple of others.
You can ask away. Might want to question, I want to come on here, right?
Yeah, but that was because I don't know how I thought I wouldn't know about this if not. Well, of course, this was not being for the country club. No, this is the.
But however, she did say the first time 12 hours.
I'm the treasurer, so something that gets put in individual. So I'm the guy, but seriously, there's a trade commission. But the trade commission should be the person who decided that. They should have been. So I'm here to support, right? So, well, there's a lot of flooding everywhere. My daughter's over in Hadley. She bought my parents' house, so I understood the drainage tile situation, but she's like a path of everything to the field. Back, my dad put a pond in the back, a lot of tiles in there, and they go over the property. So I always go back to the because it gets flooded by rain. The fact is, it's down the street, but I don't know, I do ask questions. Davis Meyer, legacy guy, he's been here since Metamora Township. But so he knows a lot of people. So why don't we just blankly run up here and say, I can tell that you guys didn't do everything. They would have to. Okay, so you heard this money has to be money. If I have even though people don't want it, somebody that has this or should be getting a building and say, here's a list of money. They're asking for more money. On this contract right here, it says, yeah, no. Because everybody's going to it might be, I don't know. So,